Now the next movement after that, we do a rising elbow strike and a punch almost simultaneously. So what Rowan's going to do is he's coming in for a hook, and I want to punch him at the same time as I'm covering up. Okay? You see this sort of movement a lot of MMA fighters use it. We've been using it for ages, but a lot of the time karate have been using it wrong. Okay? So as I've gone from there, and it's a simultaneous walk and punch. Now what Rowan's going to do now is throw a hook with the other hand. I'm going to go from here, and now I've got his back, I'm going to slam down into the ground. What I'm trying to do here isn't break his leg with the kick, is break his leg as his knee hits the ground. Now, everyone's fallen over and hit their leg on the ground. Come in, guys. Come in, take a seat. So from here, now, in kata we do a lot of turning. We go from one direction to another direction. Okay? When I was a white belt, it was explained to me, oh, someone's attacking from over here, so you better turn and face them. Okay? Your turns are all takedowns and throws. So from here, my next movement is to turn 180 degrees this way. So what I'm going to do is just going to take him with me as I turn. Now, every time I do a takedown, I want to kneel on his head if I can. I always try and guide the person to my shin, because just that is enough to make it uncomfortable. Okay, I can come from here, put the wrist in as well. I can even just put it on the ribs. So there's all those little sort of things I can do to make it a bit uncomfortable. So what we're going to do now, that bit's repeated in 4 different directions just so you get the practice of it. Now we've got some very strange movements, and one of them is, so we've done the last one of those. We're just drawing this way. So from here, we draw in, down, up and down. Okay? Now that movement's been trained quite a bit to make it look pretty for competition. But what it actually is, Rowan's going to come in and try and sort of grab me around the waist or whatever. So what I'm going to do is first take one hand off, take the other hand off, then get his hands across my chest with the turning action. And then I just use my chest to get some momentum. As I've got the momentum, I then go rolling over. Oh! Shin meet head, head meet shin. Okay? And if I want to come in nice and tight, use some of that wonderful Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that Ben's been showing me. Come over. Okay? But it's all about keeping that tight from what I've been told. Okay, so we've got that one. Our next movement, we do from here, we do this. I'll show up from this side, which is this. And we do this as a really, really deep movement. Then there's a foot sweep and a double punch. It looks quite different when it's done with a person. So Rowan's now going to do a double lapel grab. I forgot to do this like I did earlier, I was too late. He's grabbed me. Now, this isn't so bad. If you grab a cross grab, you start to put a choke on him in a bit of trouble. Now this time I don't want to just chuck you over forward for this part of it. I'm going to go back the other way. A little better from there. So what I'm going to do is the reason why I go really deep is I want to grab this as far around as possible so that I can do this. Okay? And I put torque on his elbow through here and use the fact that he's hanging on for dear life, and I'll get to there. Once I explained Kazushi before, that's to make him unbalanced. He's unbalanced. Next movement is foot sweep. Okay? And then I can do a double punch there. And normally in kata you're doing the double punch here, but the idea is to really use your body weight and fall into the technique. Sounds a bit silly, I'm falling into the technique. But if I do that same technique, from here to there, and I hold him up, because I don't want to fall over, there's no impact. If I do it when I really want to do it, I'm not going to do it as hard as I should do it. When I go here, I get to here, and as he's going, I'm going to fall on him. And literally fall with my knees, sink into his ribs and his head. And that will knock the wind out of someone even who's bigger than you. And you don't have to be a big person to pull this off. You just have to get a nice tight grip and use your hips. I'm not pulling with my arms, I'm pulling with my body. There's two of those. The very end movement of this one is this crazy thing like this. See guys, did you get a brochure? You off to? Yeah. See ya. So our next movement from here is this fantastic, fun-loving, crazy arm thing. Okay? In Goju, we're also told we've got to come up with our own applications. And this was one of those ones that was never satisfactorily explained to me. So the way I do it is it's from here. Rowan, when we were doing stuff before, we were doing this movement. Okay? So what Rowan's going to do, he's going to try that movement on me. So he pulls to here. What I want to do is get really, really deep so he doesn't get it on the elbow. Okay? My next movement is around and down and over. Okay? And the way I did that was I just kept not just ignoring what this person was doing and try and do the movement of the kata. So he's grabbed, crossover, he's got to here, I go to there. The movement of the kata is a turn with this hand doing this. And a big step to here. Oh, look what happened. The next part of the kata is the hands go down and then they go up. So if he's hanging on, if he's not hanging on, I grab and over. And then I can come up, straighten his arms, and look at it. Okay? We do a lot of sansaru in karate, which is just knee. We've got an application for that, just knee on the person's head. And that's a little bit of Goju.
Can I see you go through the kata without...
Okay, and now that you've seen some of the moves, the kata will make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
And then you'll see where it's been changed to make it look a bit more pretty.
Yeah. Why are you back for? Brian needs to rest after getting beaten up.